Good morning. It's November 8th, 2023, and it's another beautiful day today. I'm out here still in El Paso, mountains behind me, sunrise, because I always say sunset, sunrise in front of me. And I'm reflecting. I'm reflecting on yesterday's message that I shared about shining your light and not letting that voice that says you're not enough or the voices that say you're too much dim your light, because you never know when your light might be medicine for the world. And the greatest gift that you can give others is to be your full self. And with that, in that day later on, I decided to create some silly, funny reel that I wanted to create. It was a workout. I was working out with dumbbells, and I did this stupid little dance move, and it's funny to me. It made me laugh. I felt so silly and stupid. And when I went to post it, I had this intense feeling come over me. It's like, wait, are you doing this for attention, or are you doing this for intention, with an intention to help, to shine your light, right? Are you seeking external validation? Are you looking for attention with this? Look at me, or do you have the intent of spreading your light and expressing yourself, right? And so I really wrestled with that, and I felt like this pause about sharing this. And I had to journal. I asked one of my other coaches, Coach Casey, and I knew she would have the right words for me, but I didn't get a response from her yet. But I started to journal, and I got my own answers. This identity of being silly and being seen and being filmed and being free with my emotions or what I want to express is not my identity. It's something new for me that I'm stepping into. And I've always expressed myself, but not to this level, right? This level is different. Being silly and being seen in that way and really getting the eyes on me is not something that I see myself as. And so Coach Kevin Crenshaw last night was talking about several things that I want to go over, but one of them being that one of the strongest forces in human nature is to stay congruent with who you believe you are. And so I feel like in my journaling, I kind of arrived at that. I was saying, why am I doing this for validation? Yet, could this be just a voice that's trying to keep me small and try to dim my expression and try to make me play smaller than I'm stepping into, right? So my identity doesn't believe that I'm somebody who can be funny or silly and goofy and be seen and not judged, right? I was worried about being judged by others, and I was judging myself to try to get myself to not step into that feeling of expression and not shine that light. And so I had to reframe my perspective and think about it and say, well, maybe this expression is just something that wants to be expressed. Dance and movement is something that I want to do. Being silly is something that I want to do. And maybe this is just something that wants to be expressed. And maybe this silliness, maybe this video will brighten someone's day or make someone laugh or give somebody something to smile about, right? And so maybe that me being in my light and people knowing who I am and knowing me and then seeing that transformation for me, knowing that that's not my norm, could be inspired. And so I had to reframe that. And it was just a really powerful reframe for me that I worked through on my own, through my own journaling. But then later on the call, I was just going through my journal real quick. Kevin said something else. He said, well, let me stick with this. Let me stay with this point real quick, because what I wrote was redefining my present and future identity. I can release who I believed myself to be and make new choices that take me to new places. And I said, may my intentions stay pure in sharing my light and creating content that can help and inspire others. And so that's kind of how I ended my journaling. And so then that brings me to, that whole situation where I was my own inner voice. I was literally saying, don't let anyone dim your light. And here I am, my internal voice trying to get me to dim my own light for judgment. And then I shared this on the call last night with Kevin. And okay, my phone's having a problem. I shared this last night on the call with Kevin, Coach Kevin Crenshaw, and the Artist Power Collective group, which has been, my God, one of the most supportive, impressive, like amazing communities I've ever been in. It's next level. And anyway, that's a testimonial for another day. Anyway, I shared this story, and Kevin, he said, and what if? He asked me, what if you were doing it for attention? What if you were doing it for validation? He's like, we live in an attention economy, and getting attention is something that is needed in order to reach people. And sometimes we need to be seen, and sometimes we do want to have external validation, and it's okay. What does it mean about you? What would it mean if you were doing it just strictly for attention, right? And so that made me think about, wow, he's right. I'm also human, the thing that he said was, it's okay to seek validation and external validation and attention and to be wanting to be seen, but just don't live there, right? Don't live in that place, because then that's where it becomes toxic. But he told me to sit with the part of me that was fearful about being judged, right? And to think about, if you did do it just for attention, then it's okay. And it's not so serious, right? And that really just put my whole nervous system on like, okay, it's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to like have ulterior motives that are not always seen in the purest light, right? That's a judgment that I was making that others would be making about me, right? So it's a freaking story. And the fact that I also became aware the fact that because I was asking the question, am I doing this for attention or with the intention to serve and share my light? I feel like that perspective and that awareness of even asking myself that question means that I have the awareness to ask myself, wait, are my intentions right here? And to do that self-question and self-reflection, I feel like that is a powerful place to be, in a place of not just doing this. Intention is wicked right now. I don't know if you can hear me. Hopefully you can. And as you know, I don't edit these, so you're going to get a windy-ass podcast. And again, that's also my perfectionism, forcing myself to not be perfect in the creation of this podcast. But anyway, so that was really powerful, and I wanted to share that with everyone. It really, really helped me to really reflect. And then one more thing from last night's call that's been echoing in my mind today, which was so powerful. And I actually created a reel today about this. Kevin, again, what an amazing coach he is. He said something. He said, God doesn't give you what you want. He gives you what you're ready for. He doesn't give you what you ask for. He gives you what you're prepared for, what you're prepared to receive. And so what he meant by that was, and I shared this on the reel, he said, or what he was meaning was that the things that you're asking for, the big dreams, the big accomplishments, the big places that you want to go, oftentimes they will require something of you. They will require a certain capacity for you to keep and sustain and to live in that place that you're asking to live. And I don't mean physically where you want to live. I'm saying like, if you want to do this big thing, there's certain things that you need to have within yourself to hold and sustain it. And so we're faced with, and we're given, when we ask for things, we're actually given the challenges and the problems and the obstacles and the pains and the struggles and the feeling the stuckness of what's going to prepare you for the things that you're asking for, right? It's getting you ready. It's giving you the capacity. It's giving you the muscles. It's giving you emotional awareness, emotional intelligence, the wherewithal, the resilience, the strength to actually keep and sustain what it is that you're wanting. And so with that came this giant reframe of the last 11 months of my life. I've been on this trajectory of massive growth, of massive challenges, of massive obstacles in my life. Yesterday I felt like something was working out for me, and then here, boom, a massive obstacle that's being presented to me, and I could have chosen to say, oh man, what the fuck, like, again, I was almost there and this thing didn't work out. But actually, with this reframe, I'm like, okay, here's something that I need to navigate in a different way that I've been navigating, and it's going to give me the capacity to deal with it. And so it's a gift. The last 11 months of my life, my journey, when I can reframe that perspective and look at it from that perspective, I'm like, wow, that must mean that what's coming in my next level is going to be freaking massive, because I've been getting ready for something so big to hold and to build the capacity to create and build the capacity to sustain something at a different level that I've never been at. And so in looking at it from that perspective, I feel so empowered reflecting over my last 11 months versus feeling disempowered or feeling like, oh, why hasn't it happened yet? Or what's going on with me? Or what am I doing wrong? Or why hasn't it happened yet? Right? These disempowering stories that we tell, or perspectives that we can have, that keep us away from what we want, keep us from learning and growing into that capacity that we're being prepared for or being given. And so I wanted to share that because it was such a big aha moment that I feel like even in my sharing it right now, I'm going to sit with this for the next weeks, processing all the things that I've been going through for the last 11 months and realizing that, like, the pain that I've gone through is getting me ready and prepared for the joy and the love and the happiness, right? The relationship struggles are preparing me for the right kind of partnership, right? And so the struggles around my finances and getting those things in order are preparing me to hold a level of abundance and becoming a steward of money that I've not been in my life. That was the reason why I couldn't sustain the abundance that I had before. And so it's like going to the gym. It's painful, but if you can reframe, like, this pain or this feeling in my body, the sensation is getting me stronger. It's making me ready for this next body, this next version of me. And so, again, I found this so empowering that I wanted to share this message today. I hope something of what I've said has resonated with you, and it empowers you and inspires you and helps you with your own journey, with your own story right now. And with that, I want to share that I love you. Blessings. Big love. Have a magical day today. Peace.